VNR, we in the space. Yeah, man. There's two lives going on Bolo VNR 2.0 right now. That's how important this life is, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Um, One of the other things I wanted to try, yes, this is an experiment. So, like I share the video in the meantime, give the people them some time to come in. Where is it? Let me get it over here. Over here. I hope that nothing is playing in the background over there. Let me see. Nothing should be on over here. Oh, nothing is on. Okay, good. Nothing is on at OBS. No background audio, nothing like that. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to share my visual of the live that I'm doing with my phone on OBS. I just thought about this, so I'm experimenting, guys. So while you guys on OBS can hear me, you can't see me. So what I want to do is I want to change that, right? I want to change that. And what I think I could do to change that is this. But I'm going to see if it's even possible. Yeah, I'm going to see if it's even possible. So let me just do this. Let's see if it's even possible. I gotta mute it because I don't want the back. You guys are already hearing me, and I don't want you to hear me twice. I just want you to see me. Right? All right. Oh, this going on, Father. Father, guide my hands. Let me know how to stand. Let me know how to maneuver this new plan. I have it in my brain, but oh, it works. It works, ladies and gentlemen. We have a winner. We have a winner. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. We have a winner. Yes. Hey, Father God, more thank you for giving me brain and give me, you know. I just assist it. And you get all our praises. I'm just scroll this back a little. So it catches the frame of the video and take out the black part. Yes. So I'm just in that corner right here. So alright. Big up God, big up God, big up God. Alright, let me see. Let's touch back so. And then boop, boop, boop. Shaman. Hey, God is the greatest, y'all. See it there now. Where them I go do ya now? Where them I go do ya now? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. I know it's delayed, but I don't care. The video is delayed on the OBS because I'm using YouTube over here. So, but I just thought about this today, so this is pretty exciting, yeah? Pretty exciting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Now let's get into, since we have that covered, let's get into this. I have that covered, so let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. The meat and potatoes of the matter. Alright, this is gonna be an awesome show. So you want to share this, and you want to like this video, you want to share this with somebody, okay? Alright. So let's go. Impossible that I know nothing for me. My God. Anything you want, you would go for the cream. Member. Impossible that I know nothing for me. That I know nothing for me. Twice defeated in the race of life. You have to know that. Oh no, that is definitely not the one I'm looking to open. No sir. Definitely not. Okay, this Andre. I think this one is, I think that one, no. The audio don't turn on. Thank God. Alright. I can actually change this now and put the video that I want on there. Awesome. Now it's time for OBS to see the video and hear the video that I'm about to play and not hear me. Not sure. One thing, ladies and gentlemen. you guys? I would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Let's go. Yes. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to react to this. I really want to react to this. I have to react to this. This has to be posted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, good day. It's your brother Bolo, and we in the space again, right? And Jonas has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. This is a BOJ TV special. This is the NSWMA head office. And I want to specifically address, what's up, Brian? Salute to you, my brother. I want to specifically address one thing that the Prime Minister said. I be in a way with blessings. I want to address one thing that the Prime Minister said, ladies and gentlemen. I heard that alone in the first minute, and I decided to do this live because, you see, we have to set the record straight. We are at war against misinformation. We are at war against disinformation. And I find it quite shameful that the Prime Minister would actually try to continue to pull off this idea that somehow, you know what, let me say less. Let's hear what he has to say right off the rip. Let's hear this.
May 2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition. Now, I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient and being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we
Stop lying! Stop lying! Stop lying! Stop!
May 2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition. Now, I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient and being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we are responding has been almost textbook, and it will be the case study for many other countries as to how to respond to managing a disaster. We have already started what we call...
Stop lying! Stop lying! Stop lying! Stop!
Ladies and... Is this thing on? I know what I'm going to do, man. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, no, I can't do that. That's going to backfire. Can't do that. Can't do that. I don't know why this microphone decides to say I can stop working on people. That's terrible. Sure. No, I meant not know when we're walking up. Come in now. And come in now. Well, I almost came in. All right. I think we're. Oh wow, where is it? Where's the microphone? It's on. I just. Damn, man. Yo. Yo, mic check, mic check. Yo, this is wild. It's not coming on. Anyway, man. I'm just going to use default. I can't bother. I'm just going to use default, yeah, man. It might be muffled, but I'm just going to use default. I don't know what's happening right now. See, default is not working. Wow. This thing is just doing whatever it wants to do. At this point, yes, I'm sure. Default. Okay. Them flap me. The wire flap me. The computer flap me. The microphone flap me. But I work through it, people. I work through it. Me know how to edit that out. Brother, what the... This microphone was working so good. Probably I should record it. But when I hear the man, whoa. Alright, man, I see me can't get me out of that microphone, yeah. For some strange reason down an hour. And then when I plug this out and plug this runner so I'm wondering if something is wrong with my drives. There's a wire that I used to use, you know, and I can't find it. That connected my speaker, my Bluetooth speaker to my... I have to get one today. But sure. Never get one today. That experiment, yeah, is the last experiment. Right now, it kill me time. So, never end this one over here. Let me say it to let them know. Just I'm gonna mute this. Yeah, now I'm gonna make them know over that side. So I'm gonna end it. End the one part OBS, and then just continue with this because I have to get that piece of wire. Alright, so for the people over there on OBS, on YouTube, I'm going to end the call-in live. Come over to the other live, and I'm going to show you what live I'm talking about on the screen, because there's 2 lives running right now. I'm going to show you the live I'm talking about. Alright, the case study on government. I can't believe what Andrew was just a while ago. Mighty God. This man had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to the man just see the people. That's how we're there now. Right, that's how we're there. The PR of constant lies versus the reality of hurricane minister response from the government. Oh, and we're at 35,000 subs. So that is something to celebrate. I need 15,000 more for subs to get to 50,000. So I need each and every one of you guys to become a part of the like and share team. Share the content. Share the shorts, the short videos, what they call shorts. Share the uploads, the video uploads, and share the live streams. Alright? Yeah, man. Alright, so I'm going to end the live because the microphone not working. I have to go down the road. I'm going to get specific equipment in 1.5 hours. Alright, so see you guys over there. Alright, let me just end this. Just end that. And then we go to Andrew and in Madness. Andrew and in Madness, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus. What is going on in this world? Where you can have a prime minister that come on the app, constantly lies, and then tells us that he is fighting against misinformation. What can go so? And I'm gonna be very clear. I'm gonna be very pellucid in this one. True. All right. First of all, here we go.
Come to fruition. Now, may 2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition. Now, I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion.
So, ladies and gentlemen, do you guys remember when Andrew Willis said that there was a scramble? So the scramble was strategic. Hey, this guy is incredible, man. The man said that he has been very strategic. His government has been very strategic, and it's not without compassion. Meanwhile, simultaneously kicking out the people out of Petersfield. Simultaneously kicking out the people out of Petersfield. The man is kicking out the people out of Petersfield shelter while simultaneously saying that the government is not without compassion. I will let you guys be the judge on that. Something happened to my camera and freeze up. Excuse me. I will let you guys be the judge of that. This government has not rebuilt a home. This government lent the JPS 150 million US dollars, approximately 24 billion Jamaican dollars. This government was late in doing assessments. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that the longer they take to do the assessment, is the longer people will be homeless. So whatever help was coming from the government, if they was to wait on the government, they would be out in the cold under tarpaulin. And we've seen it on live. We've seen it on TVJ and CVM. We've seen women and children living under tarpaulins while the rain is falling. And this man says that his government strategic response to Hurricane Melissa is not without compassion. How do you sleep at night? How do you guys keep a party? A Christmas party when you say you wouldn't keep a Christmas party? While people are in Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Mandeville, right? All of the affected areas without a roof over their head, without a house. Just the foundation alone left, ladies and gentlemen. How do you sell to people that one, you are strategic, and two, you are compassionate? Or you listen. This guy, man, this May
2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition. Now, I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient, in being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, the audience, the ones that are living it in Westmoreland and all these places, have you seen this effectiveness that he's talking about? Have you seen the efficiencies? As a matter of fact, when anytime Damian Crawford, let me pull it up. Let's see how efficient the government has been. Let's see how efficient the government has been. Damian Crawford questions ODPEM in Parliament. Let's see how efficient they have been. Let's see how effective they have been. Listen to this.
Can you remind me of the number of packages that the government has distributed to this point? I think it was 116,000. 15,000. It was indicated.
No, I need a way better audio than that. That's not even gonna fly. Let me go to the. Oh, Mr. Omar Newell birthday today. Happy birthday to Mr. Omar Newell. Big up yourself, sir. Hopefully to see many more, and you create effective change that will benefit the people of Jamaica. Yes, in your stint in on this run politically, right? Let me go to their page. Let me go to, because I know that they had posted Damian Crawford's questioning on their Facebook page, and it's very important because we have to challenge the misinformation, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting way out of hand. I am challenging every single word the Prime Minister says at this point, because the man can't lie, so brother. This man has unconscionable. What can go so? Finance Minister. Oh yeah. Well, listen. I'm gonna play that as well. Let me share it for me. Let me share that one. I'm gonna play this. I definitely have to play that one there when you are questioning the Finance Minister. Who have a challenge in madness? No. Effectiveness and efficiency. They are the total opposite of effectiveness and efficiency. This is madness. And listen, I'm going to talk now because you see what is happening, and what they're trying to pull off, ladies and gentlemen. What they're trying to pull off, Damian Crawford, clarity, and yes, we need to question this as well. We need to question that. We need to play that one there. Let me see. Damian know that Nikisha Burchell, Peter Bond. Damian Crawford alone may I look for specifically. Mark Golding, no, not Mark Golding. Damian Crawford there. Mighty God. Minister of Finance, Julian Robinson. December 2nd, Angela Burke. Kenneth. I think I've heard about that, this man. The opposition. We need the full clean audio. The audio they sound crappy a while ago. I don't want to mash up the people in ears jump. In question what is this? The $6.something billion. Alright, let me pray that as well. Why are those favorites alone me I look for? Or them favoritize all of them? Mr. Alfred Dawes. Wow. I need a better audio for Damian Crawford video, man. Mr. MP Paulwell. Dayton Campbell. Whoa. Which one is? No, that the opposition leader questioned some things. This is the press conference. I believe it was after the press conference, Yes, I believe so. I think I've gone too far back. Yeah, I think I've gone too far back. Dr. McCarthy on Wednesday, opposition, risk management. No, that's not it. That's not it. MP Omar Newell again. I'm gonna have to play Omar Newell thing, versus what's your name? The minister, the finance. Yo, Andrew, they have too much evidence to show your government has not been effective and has not been efficient. For you to come and this thing and tell lies. Right? Too much evidence of inefficiency. Even the Auditor General. What's up, Lorraine? Bless up yourself. You man heartless man and wicked and lie, man. If you stop it, man. If you stop it, it's too easy for debunk him. And him come out every day and just lie profusely. Like somebody with a perspire. Like doesn't come out time like a sweat. No, brother, it even stop me. Can't deal with this. It's too much. It is so hard to ignore lies when you hear them. I don't know about anybody else, but me can't take a liar. Me not like liar, brother. Liar with teeth. You understand what I say? Liars will steal. Point blank period.
Jamaican.
Let me see this.
Do you have the current interest rate that was agreed to?
5.5%.
Let me see this. Julian Robinson, Shadow Minister, Kenneth Russell, Isaac Buchanan, that are Anthony Hilton, Fitz Jackson, Peter Bunting, what is this? PAAC meeting. It's a 4-minute.
And based on the supplementary estimates.
All right. Now I'm going to use that one too. Probably I've got to use it. Idiot audio will get it. That I'm going to go on, you know.
To that partners so that
I'm going to find one next one. I have to find a next one. This can't work. I hate this?
Minister, the
No, I hate that.
long.
I hate that. I think I hate this.
How many generators do we have intending to distribute
Why the
to
audio?
these over?
Is it my speaker? Why are these audio so terrible?
No. I see the
Damian Crawford. Questions. Head of Adpen about Hurricane Melissa effort. Copy. Send off that. Alright. I think this one has good
A member from St. Catherine Northwest.
Alright, that's definitely not it. That's definitely not it. I find it now. It's supposed to be all over the media.
When Mr. Crawford asks a question, you better have the answer now, not tomorrow and not next year.
Somebody that. Yo, Jano. Can't believe this. So I really look at you that all them have to play, brother.
Go back to the distribution of aid.
Yes.
Can you remind me of the number of
Yes.
packages that the government has distributed to this
Patrick,
point?
we are dealing with.
I think it was 116,000.
115. 15,000. It was indicated too that partners would have been distributed. Do you have information about that number from the partners?
Not in my notes here, but I can indicate, for example, that the World Food Kitchen was one of our stronger partners. To date, they've done just 1.3 million hot meals into various communities.
Right, but that's not packages. That would have been
That's hot meals.
right. So they will give a daily distribution of hot meals. So if we work with the 116, you also indicated that you estimate that each package will serve about 4 people.
Yes, for 4 days.
For 4 days. So with about 20 days gone, then we should have had about 5 rotations.
Brandon Hill St. Andrew in a place.
That is the idea.
That is ideal. So with this number, we should have indicated that if it was serving a family of 4, then at best, each family would have received 1/5 of the time, or 1/5 of the families would have received enough times. Which one is the more likely circumstance?
Repeat this one, I try to.
All right, so
One for the time more.
for the 5 periods that would have existed since the hurricane, you have distributed enough food for 1 per family. So if it is one per family, then they would have received 1/5 of the times that you desired. Or was it that 1/5 of the family received enough rotations?
The rest of it might be a mix of the two.
Sorry?
Because we have been back into locations to issue products.
So in that case, therefore, there would be some persons that would have been in a rotation, indicating that there might be quite a bit of persons that have not been touched by government.
The possibility could exist.
How quickly could we get that information so that we can cauterize and immediately solve that situation?
We could see to work on it just to complete this week.
Go back to the distribution of aid.
I want to
Can you
know.
remind me of the number?
I want to know how.
Holy Spirit began to speak to me about it.
Lord, it prophecy for America. Hello. We're not getting to that right now. I want to know how is it possible, ladies and gentlemen, that Andrew Wallace can say this when the reality is that.
Or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response.
Jamaica that came together, ladies and gentlemen, that put their hands and hearts together, use their influence, and help the Jamaican people not to die of hunger and thirst, right? That is the textbook way how Andrew Wallace is talking about. There's going to be a case study on how to respond to a category 5 storm. I mean, it's the gall of this man, the audacity. Them don't reach nowhere yet. Them don't fix a house. Talking about it's going to be the case study and how him always have this premature praise of undone work, while under massive scrutiny of what has already been done and more importantly, not done. Ladies and gentlemen, people, there's massive amount, thousands of people going into the new year without a job. There's thousands of people going into the new year without a roof over their head. Even the people that work, police, firemen, all of these people. And guess what? The year is ending and the government cannot say that they have done at least all the assessments, but them busy at try going to account for. They cannot say that they do. And you know, see Chief Curry, I fix the road up there. Him and him team, you see that? Check Chief Curry Instagram page. I kid you not. While this man is not doing, his government is not doing what they're supposed. How can you say it's been efficient and effective? How? When Damien Crawford pull up and start asking people question, you find out say a bag of hole is in the whole process of even giving out the packages them, which they were late to doing. Again, if it wasn't for the people of Jamaica, right, the artists, them and everybody, the social media people, if it wasn't for them, the people would be dying for hunger in St. Elizabeth, St. Thomas. Who remember, and I want you to remember, you know, who remember when Andrew Wallace told Zuleika Jess, the government told her, do not hire any subcontractors. If she had followed the government, ladies and gentlemen, you know what would have happened? People would have died. That's what's going on, my baby. People would have died. People that needed to see the doctor, elderly, children, mothers. If they had followed the instruction of the government, people would have died. So what are you telling me? And I have an example of somebody that died. So them can't say I lie me and tell her that I'm projecting or that I'm exaggerating. If you read the newspaper, there's a man that died on the bicycle riding to go and get aid. That happened under this government's watch, Andrew Wallace's watch, and he wants to tell you this.
It's textbook, and it will be the case study for that efficient that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient in being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we are responding has been almost textbook, and it will be the case study for many other countries as to how.
You know what more have to know? Who for textbook you might use? Because the man said the way how the government has responded is almost textbook. Whose textbook? Which book him learn from? Is it the book of how to increase the amount of people that died after the storm? Through negligence? Is it to increase suicide rate? Through negligence? Is that the textbook? Andrew Honest in the middle, just as the storm hit, Andrew Honest decided, say, before the storm hit, Andrew Honest decided, say, in our press conference that, you know, we need to restructure somehow the ODPEM, as if the ODPEM has not been dealing with storms over the years. This is just a category 5. So him reshuffle the ODPEM, talking about there's gaps. When the ODPEM should be operating like a well, like I shared the video, guys, when the ODPEM should be operating like a well-oiled machine to respond to a hurricane. Right? They know how to respond to a hurricane. This is just a bigger hurricane. So why then would you do that in the middle there? I believe, based on what I've seen, that right there compromised the integrity of their response. They were slow out the gates, ladies and gentlemen. They were not organized. Them still not even fully organized. Where is the website to tell us where all the money is that you guys receive? How can you sit there with a straight face and tell us that you've been efficient and effective? This guy is incredible. But then again, remember what his father said, you know. No go so. We need to clip that. We need to clip up that no go so something. You know. Remember his father said no go so, you know. I believe this is another no go so moment.
Respond to managing a disaster. We have already started what we call the roof repair program. The JDF is leading that. Some of you may recall that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I gave a directive to the JDF that they should transition from relief operations into the rebuilding, the restoration operations. And so they are leading that now. We have engineering corps from 2 countries joining us. We have Guyana, and I have assigned the Guyanese engineers to work in White House and Bluefields. They are now at about 30 houses restored. The Ghanaians, their engineering corps came in a couple of days ago, and they are assigned to middle quarters and some of those areas in St. Elizabeth. And the JDF, as you would hear, is it.
So, no, yo, them man are skilling up. So after all of the criticism, and rightfully so, of the really lethargic response of the government, now that them actually start what we said them should have started long time, like maybe, I don't know, the 3rd week. From the 3rd week after the storm, ladies and gentlemen, it took them almost the end of the year. It took them 1 month, almost 2 months before they literally responded and started to fix up some houses. Listen, I cannot even trust what Andrew Honest is saying. I have to see those houses. I have to hear from those people before me believe it's a 30 house roof actually fixed. The man has eroded any semblance of trust that I could possibly have in anything that comes out of his mouth. That is where I'm at with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, you know. The man has destroyed every semblance of what the shred or dust of trust that could have been left for this man. I cannot give him the benefit of the doubt, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot. I don't know about you.
We have started to repair roofs. So the strategy is we're going to look for the most vulnerable, people who can't repair their roofs themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 months, their strategy is going to... Listen, the vloggers have been on... I know I am one of them. I have been screaming at the top of the roof from the very first moment that the hurricane came. And Andrew only said this on CNN. Remember when he said this, you know, I want to show you context, you know, because, boy, may I tell you, context does matter. Big up Isaac Buchanan. Context does matter, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play this back again.
May 2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition. Now, I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient, in being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we are responding has been almost textbook, and it will be the case study for many other countries as to how to respond to managing a disaster. We have already started what we call the roof repair program. The JDF is leading that. Some of you may recall that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I gave a directive to the JDF that they should transition from relief operations into the rebuilding, the restoration operations. And so they are leading that now. We have engineering corps from 2 countries joining us. We have Guyana, and I've assigned the Guyanese engineers to work in White House and Bluefields. They are now at about 30 houses restored. The Ghanaians, their engineering corps came in a couple of days ago, and they are assigned to middle quarters and some of those areas in St. Elizabeth. And the JDF, as you would hear, is in a compound, and they have started to repair roofs. So the strategy is we're going to look for the most vulnerable, people who can't repair their roofs themselves. They're not working, they're elderly, they're shut in, and we're going to try and do some of those.
Yeah, I mean, when do you anticipate you would be able to get rescue repair crews, you know, electricity restored to some of the hardest hit?
And the reports that we have had so far would include damage to hospitals, significant damage to residential property, housing, and commercial property as well, and damage to our road infrastructure. But I think that, you know, we have mounted a very credible and strong preparation and recovery strategy, and that will help us to ensure that our citizens who may now be facing hardship, that they can have confidence that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is past.
Yeah,
that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is past. And that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is past.
Yeah,
that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is past.
Yeah, I mean,
now, ladies and gentlemen, that was October 28, 2025 on CNN. Andrew Owens said that the same credible and strong recovery strategy would have them being able to reach the people immediately after the storm. Now, listen, the level of failure from that statement, things definitely did not go that way and has not gone that way. It hasn't. Sarati, St. Elizabeth, Bolo, all going doing their scene all over the country. People have cried out because of lack of response from the government of Jamaica. They did not reach the people, ladies and gentlemen. It is a lie from the pits of hell when the man come here, so come say this. But effective. And now that, and you see, the most vulnerable, you know, are the ones that are affected the most, you know. And now he's talking about after 2 months after this storm, the strategy is to look for the most vulnerable. Then, brother, it take you 2 months, it take your government 2 months to realize, say, that I wanted the need for the 2 months ago. That should have been done 1.5 months ago. 2 weeks after the storm, you guys should have found every single individual in those areas that are most vulnerable. Either put them in a shelter, right? or fix them house. The elderly, the woman them with them pitney, those two. Elderly meaning woman and man elderly. Can't take care of themselves so well and them need assistance. Them have them look one room, them have them independence, and then still have blind people if you have people that is they call it now, disabled that are in those spaces, right? From the disabled community. Those people should have been reached by you and your government. You know who reached them? The regular Jamaican. So how then should we use your response as the government as a case study for how to respond to these storms? Listen, people, we can't make this up.
May 2026 be the year where all your dreams and aspirations come to fruition.
Listen to this.
I know that some of you may have been impacted by the hurricane itself, or you may have family that is impacted. The government has been very strategic in its response, and that strategic response is not one that is without compassion. We believe that being efficient and being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we are...
And you know, on a deeper level, him say, being efficient and effective is a way to show that you really care. So, let me ask Mr. Andrew on something, just off topic, when it comes to effective and efficiency. Not about Hurricane Melissa now. Because we have too much example for this child that the foolishness the way I talk about. When your government gonna operate in the last 10 years, why you guys never operate efficiently and effectively in the accounting process? Why is it that $3 trillion plus, because it gone more now, since the Auditor General came out, $3 trillion plus is unaccounted for? Otherwise known as not sure where the money gone because we don't have any receipts. Otherwise known as you want us to take your word for it that the money was used for what you said the money was used for without actually giving us a receipt. It missing. Can't find. You understand what I say? It can't find, ladies and gentlemen. It can't find. Right? We can't find the money. And you want us to trust you, Andrew. You want us to trust you and your government. You claim that you're effective and efficient, but you can't keep the receipts for the monies that was spent at a sum of $3 trillion plus over several ministries. And then some people say, but yes, you should trust the Prime Minister because it's 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. And anything he says is law, and that's how it go, and a one done and all of this foolishness. Well, listen.
I'm talking about two taxes.
Listen to what the man father say. This are the done for one done. Funo done, not my done, God am my done. Listen to what the father for Funo done say. But Andrew, and how him lie. Listen to this.
Work on, of course, this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so here is this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so of course, this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so here, of course, this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so of course, this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so here, of course, this taxi business, which you try to lever the people, talking about two taxes. Not so he graduated, and when I went to look for him, I said, "What you doing?" Him said, "I'm in the taxi business." I said, "How is it?" I said, "I have 30 taxis on the road, and somebody will have to come up." But I'm gonna.
What can go so?
Mighty God, mighty God.
What can go so?
Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
Help. We hear the
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need it. Help! Jesus Christ of Nazareth! Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, is a liberator.
So Andrew and Jamaican people, more importantly, after you hear that from the man father, right, it only validates how much we cannot trust this man, how much we can't trust in government. Because I be a skullduggery people him have run him, you know. Marissa Dalrymple got court, she found guilty, she get fined by under the law, but yesterday bring her back. Them try big George, right, with film woman and box up beat to chair situation in a video. Then bring back Andrew Wheatley, then bring back Bobby Montague with the use car them for the police them and all. Now the people them can't get the car them and the money. You see them unaccounted for. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where the money gone? And people companies up talking about, oh, left the prime minister alone. Uno full of maggot. Parasite. You need to go sit down. Right? There's in the storm. So he has not been either hold him accountable as he says his government should be held. The emergency infrastructure, hospital, etc. should be at a much higher standard. Of course. Miss Chicago, how you doing, my baby? Miss Chicago in the building. Hey, Miss Chicago is the only lady that called me her Jamaican prince. Big up Miss Chicago. Yeah. Bless up yourself, mama.
Has been almost textbook, and it will be the case study for many other countries as to how to respond to managing a disaster. We have already started what we call...
The man say. No. The man say. It's going to be a case study on how to respond to a hurricane. Andrew Honest said Jamaica response to the hurricane is going to be a case study. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I am telling you right now, if I had the experience in government that Andrew Honest has, how much years has Andrew Honest been in government? If I had the experience that he had, and they know it all about how everything works, I would have done 25 times better of a job than he did. I would have amplified his effort by 25 times. I kid you not. You heard what I said? I kid you not. First of all, when you say that everybody is on high alert, right? When the storm is coming, that means there's a certain level of objective in terms of planning and response that they would give. Nobody is saying that, you know, you're not going to have hiccups along the way. That is why when you get somebody like the United Cajun Navy official, Carlo Edwin, when you get somebody like the United Cajun Navy official, ladies and gentlemen, to offer their assistance and expertise, former Navy SEALs that has done this all over the country of America and other parts of South America, where they respond to hurricanes like Hurricane Melissa and rescue people. They have equipment and they come and CNN and they say, you know, we just need the government to give us clearance. We just need the government to give us clearance so we can get our equipment in to Jamaica and we can help in the recovery process effectively. That's all, you know. They needed the government's clearance. That is it. And ladies and gentlemen, do you know that that clearance was not granted to that level? Yes, the United Cajun Navy officials were out here giving out care packages, but when it comes to their helicopters and Listen, I'm going to play the clip. See it there?
And out front now, AJ Frazier, a Marine rescue swimmer who is helping the Cajun Navy in Jamaica. AJ, you just heard Matthew there, and he had flown through the storm. How dangerous do you expect it will be?
Well,
and for context, this was from October 27th, before the storm hit, before Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica. Elmira, how you doing? If you guys appreciate the content, please hit the like button and share the live stream. Before Hurricane Melissa hit, this was October 27th on CNN, and they were calling on the government of Jamaica to give them clearance so they could, the United Cajun Navy official could come in. Listen to what this man is saying, a former Navy SEAL. Let me play it back. He have a lot of experience in these things. Listen to this.
And out front now, AJ Frazier, a Marine rescue swimmer who is helping the Cajun Navy in Jamaica. AJ, you just heard Matthew there, and he had flown through the storm. How dangerous do you expect it will be?
Well, I think it's important for everyone to know what's going on. I've been doing hurricane rescue nonstop since Hurricane Harvey. The only one I missed was Michael. When it comes to the U.S. landfalls, I remember Hurricane Helene, and we were having issues with FEMA because they wouldn't let us use our helicopters and our airplanes to rescue people who were trapped.
They were having issues with FEMA for Hurricane Elena because they did not allow them to carry their helicopters and their equipment. I'm pausing it here to put emphasis on the fact that these people are massively equipped. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen more.
To the mountains. The topography is very similar here. I just drove through all the Jamaica mountains. You look at your map, I went from the mountain hurricane rescue nonstop since Hurricane Harvey. The only one I missed was Michael. When it comes to the U.S. landfalls, I remember Hurricane Helene, and we were having issues with FEMA because they wouldn't let us use our helicopters and our airplanes to rescue people who were trapped in the mountains. The topography is very similar here. I just drove through all the Jamaica mountains. You look at your map, I went from the Montego Bay Airport down to Mandeville and then to Kingston. And those mountains, it's scary driving through there when it's dry. It's a bunch of cliffs, and they're going to be trapped. There's going to be a bunch of landslides. This is not going to be simply one of the most powerful storms to hit Jamaica. At landfall, it's going to be one of the most intense storms to ever make landfall on planet Earth, period. And right now it's down to a 906 pressure. That's in the top 6 of all time landfalls if it maintains that pressure, or could be even worse if it gets lower than that when it makes landfall. So, it's most likely to make landfall anywhere from tomorrow morning to 3 p.m. based on what we're looking at. But I think an important thing to know, because I'm sure you don't have much time here, is we're going to need assistance from the Jamaican government getting all the units we're affiliated with, and I'm affiliated with as well. United Cajun Navy Task Force, we have PANSOC, we have Philippine Gun Club, we have 50-star search and rescue, Gulf search and rescue, aerial recovery, Halo relief. We have a lot of units that are going to be coming in with helicopters and airplanes. We're going to need help with the Jamaican government getting clearance to get them all in, because there's going to be people could be trapped for months. You look at what Hurricane Maria did. This storm was more powerful than Hurricane Maria, more powerful than Katrina. A lot of things can happen. The topography here in Kingston, there's a lot of mountains and landslides. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. There's going to be a lot of people trapped. And it could be anywhere from dozens to thousands dead, depending on what the storm does.
It's horrible.
So, ladies and gentlemen, given the experience, what's up, Lady Ninja? And get well soon, Elmira. Make sure you link your grandma. You understand? Or some elder. You understand? That's what I'm saying in the zine. How do you not give these guys? The man said, I am asking the government for clearance to get these equipments and our teams in, because he's concerned, because he's saying that the topography of the landscape is similar to that of the area where another hurricane hit, and FEMA did not give them the go ahead to go into those areas, that particular area, to help the people them. They never gave them clearance. And here we are in Jamaica. The United Cajun Navy was not given this clearance, ladies and gentlemen. The United Cajun Navy, remember when Desmond McKenzie come and said they didn't have enough helicopters because he was trying to defend Andrew Wallace not landing in Westmoreland? You remember that? So there's a deficit of helicopters according to Desmond McKenzie and the government. So these people have helicopters and they have the individuals, trained individuals that have done this before over and over and over again. This is what they do. You're talking about Navy SEALs. What better experienced personnel do you need to come and do search and rescue along with the JDF? Along with the JDF, supervised by top JDF officials. What more you want? So Andrew Wallace was given this opportunity. Did he take it? No. Big platform CNN, the man come ask. You think that they never reached out to the government? For all the lab rats out there, we're gonna make some type of excuse. Do you see the United Cajun Navy official with other government officials during this period of response? They have been talking to the government, ladies and gentlemen. They reached out to the government and the government did not take it. They did not take it, ladies and gentlemen. And now you have to ask yourself the question, why? This man is very concerned about people being trapped for months. And I want to remind you of something that the apostle said. Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth said, the number, ladies and gentlemen, the number that they're swirling around about how much people has passed, as time goes by, it's going to be revealed that that number is unfortunately not it, and it's not even close. You understand what I'm saying? It's not even close. We're going to be in for a rude awakening when the actual numbers of persons that lost their lives in Hurricane Melissa is revealed. It's not something that I want. But look at the devastation, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the level of water. And how can the government be confident about their numbers when they haven't done a proper census in years? You would have to speak to people's families to know. There's a lot of unconfirmed reports. So the point of the matter is, Andrew Wallace talking about efficiency and effectiveness and how that means they care. They did not respond to this hurricane in an efficient and effective way. They did not. They got help and they didn't take it. So even if they didn't have the capacity, even if they didn't have the equipment or the enough personnel, they got the help and they refused the help. So now the big question is, how does a caring government get an opportunity, help like this, and refuse it? It reminds me of the story of the company overseas that basically Mr. Will Rattigan spoke about, that was supposed to secure our borders in terms of the drugs and the human trafficking and all them stuff there, and animals, the animals them coming in, trafficking of animals from other countries, securing our seas and our shores. That company, right? And Mr. Will Rattigan let me know about that contract, that conversation with the company and the government. And the government refused their help as well. And the company was not charging the government no money at all. I would love for one day a real journalist, get those investigative journalists that question the government, get those moments where they can say, there is a report of a company in such and such time, this year, tell them the year, tell them the company, and it is alleged that money, the offer was made, and the offer was that you would not pay anything as a government and they would secure the borders. And this was on your request of the United States for help. And they said, this is who we use, you use them. And they put something together and said, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to charge you. You're going to put such and such fee on the travel expenses of persons that come to Jamaica. And then that $5 or whatever, $3 or whatever, every person that comes, we would get paid from that. The government said no. The government said no. The government ghost them. Why would they ghost them? Doesn't the government want real investigative professionals to stop whatever is going on in the seas illegally in and around Jamaica? That's the question. Don't they want that? And if there's any real tangible belief that they don't want that to happen, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a serious crisis in our country. That is a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation.
The roof repair program, the JDF, about what will happen in the new year. We have employed who will then go to the shops, and you can see the cycle of economic activity, which will create the income necessary to be able to grow the economy. People will be able to help themselves. A good economy helps everyone. So putting this money is something that we talk about. It looks and sounds ephemeral. For others, this is the government saying, here is to be able to give everyone. But certainly everyone who we have assessed as being in need, come to our attention and we have the resources, we will give grants. These grants, however, will not be, and they will just be upfront. You know, these are not grants that are going to be able to restore your entire house. For some, depending on the damage it made. But for us,
so not only is the response of the government late, but it's also not effective. Because the money won't be able to really do much. That's what he's saying. The grants that you'll be getting from the government, you won't be able to do much. Although late, you know, and this is the same person telling us that they are effective and efficient. Exactly. It won't do much and not everyone will be qualified. Mighty God. You see, let me tell you. You see, if the government truly did something efficient and effective, let me tell you what I would do. You see, all the persons, ladies and Sassy, what are you doing? You see, all the persons that are affected by Hurricane Melissa, the ones, again, identifying the most vulnerable. The most vulnerable will be taken care of by my government, 100%. They will be taken care of 100%. Because it is inhumane to leave persons that are vulnerable in that space after a hurricane ravished them. It's inhumane, it's uncaring, it's evil, it's wicked. I couldn't with good conscience not help those people. All of them, every woman, every child, everybody, every vulnerable person, disabled, you name it. Now, if there's a wider conversation necessary for us to, I don't know, balance the books, whatever that is, I am going to come to the people of Jamaica and I'm going to be very candid with them. And this is where you come with the receipts. This is why the receipts are important. Listen, If you're a government that is open and transparent, and I'm going to give you an example, Mr. Andre Stevens, he's running an open and transparent care package drive. And because he's running an open and transparent care package drive, you know what happens? Persons give more to his platform because they realize that he's doing the right thing and doing the work. If Andrew Owen's government was open and transparent, the diaspora would have stood behind the government. 100%. If the diaspora saw that Andrew Owens is out here making sure that the elderly, females, pregnant, single mothers with their children was risen back on their feet through true compassion and care from a government, the people would give their last to the government because they saw that accountability was in process. Because they gave some of them gave their last to Andre Stevens. I'm gonna ask Christ about that. Right? Them see the work that the youth is doing. And big up Aromatic coming out again with another comprehensive analysis that Andre highlighted the other night. Right? Of what the youth is doing. The youth is there in the trenches with the people. Where is the government? Where is Andrew? When he did want the people and voting, did they in the trenches with them barefoot at St. Mary? Remember good no man? Remember good no man? So what has changed? No, them win, them have them power. Forget about y'all. Listen, we won't be able to help all of y'all and it done here. Some of them not gonna qualify. And the money is small anyway. So no work it out. And that is the posture of the government. Tamara, how you doing? That is the posture of the government. Coming out here. Me say the thing burn me, no man. The thing burn me to the core for hear the man come out and just lie to the people, you know. Telling the people that listen to the man about study. This is gonna be a case study. Mighty God of Daniel.
Ago, I gave a directive to the JDF that they should transition from relief operations into so that you truly care. And how we are responding has been almost textbook. And it will be the case study for many other countries as to how to respond to managing a disaster.
We need a team. I need a team. I need a research team. I need a research team and a clip-up team. I need a team. I only can have on our own YouTube page too. Because I want to know to be monetized. I need a team. I need a team. Because you see, when you listen to something like that, and then you look at the reality of what is happening in people's lives, a case study on how to deal with, to respond to storms, a case study. Mighty God, this cannot be real. A case study. Peer noise and music a while ago. Me don't know, people. This is a bit overwhelming. I'm really angry right now. I'm allergic to liars, you know. I don't know about you guys, but I am allergic to liars. I am allergic to liars, ladies and gentlemen. This is Andrew Olis on CNN. Huh?
To hospitals, significant damage to residential property, housing, and commercial property as well, and damage to our road infrastructure. But I think that, you know, we have mounted a very credible and strong preparation and recovery strategy, and that will help us to ensure that our citizens who may now be facing hardship, they can have confidence that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is past.
Yep.
Wow. Yo, brother. Yo, immediately after the storm is past. Damn. He literally said that, bro. He literally promised the people that on CNN. You know, Joseph. Hey, me I tell you, say, he needs psychological assessment. Seriously, a leader needs to be deemed. So, no, me I tell you, you know how long I've been asking? I have been asking the question, ladies and gentlemen. I've been asking the question. Andrew, alright? Him alright, him good? Is he okay? Don't do. Yo, brother. May I scroll back and I look at some of the issues them where they come up. There's so many different stories that expose the inefficiency and effectiveness of the government. So many. With the ODP EM brother there. What that video there? Because that was embarrassing. You know, say Adisa Belleros have it. As a matter of fact, I have it. All right, all that brother.
The aftermath of the hurricane. The speaker campus building.
What we're going. What a damn shame. But like I said, we're gonna go. Listen to this. These are the effects.
When we have patients who, you know, it's very, very concerning here when we have patients who we don't have any gauze and sterile gauze or the capacity to operate here 4 days after a disaster. I remember in 2010 when there was an earthquake in Haiti that the JF was in Haiti the day after the earthquake. And here we are.
Listen to me. Who remember this doctor? Who remember this doctor? Man said he remember when Haiti had the massive earthquake and JDF was in Haiti the day after. Ladies and gentlemen, on our own soil. On our own soil. You hear the man say 4 days after the storm, the hospital don't have proper equipment. simple gauges and them something there. Listen, not my word. Andrew Honest is here telling us that they were effective and efficient in their response, and it's a case study.
In here, when we have patients who you know, it's very, very concerning here when we have patients who we don't have any gauze and sterile gauze or even the capacity to operate here 4 days after a disaster. I remember in 2010 when there was an earthquake in Haiti, that the JDF was in Haiti the day after the earthquake. And here we are in Jamaica with a natural disaster that we know was coming for days upon days. And yet still the staff, not even the staff here, are able to get water and food as we should. Not to mention our patients who need things like sterile gauze that we run out of this morning.
People, Andrew Honest, don't listen. Me say me need a team. Me need the people them to find and clip them. Because they are there, you know. The evidence is there, you know, of the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of this government, you know. Even the nurses and the doctors were crying out, no water, no food. You know that days that the storm was out there lingering, ladies and gentlemen. The government should have been getting busy. But you know what happened to them? Whole heap of money spent. What's up, Selena? A lot of money spent, ladies and gentlemen, for the election. A lot of money was spent for the election. And the storm came shortly after the election. A lot of money was spent on ads all around the place. You understand? Where you say, Selena, you miss me, baby? Selena, mighty God, if you were to meet me, boy, you definitely miss me, baby. If it was just for friendship alone, I know you would miss me. I'd miss you too. Lord have mercy. Woo! Lord have mercy. You know what I mean? But seriously speaking though, the government, ladies and gentlemen, did not have food and water for the nurses and the doctors in the hospital. You are? Well, I'm telling you, if you start that, then you know you're going to market territory, right? Mickey, what's up, Mickey? Listen, the government of Jamaica failed the people of Jamaica. There's no two ways about it. There's too many examples of the failure when it comes out to the response of in Hurricane Melissa. And these people are going to talk about the case study. Case study? Come on, bro. Stop. Listen to the doctor.
When we know that there's a disaster committee in Kingston, Adpem and so on, who knows, we know that Mrs. Bullock, the class, who may be retired now, knows about medical emergencies. She was the one who coordinated the medical team to Haiti in 2010. And here we are scrambling and worrying about things like sterile gauze, sterile.
You remember when Andrew said that there was a scramble? The man is saying there's individuals within the ODPEM that led. I love you too, baby. That led the effort for Haiti, and they were down there immediately after the storm. So they understand the type of equipment and you know, things that are necessary to respond in that way. But now in Jamaica, after Hurricane Melissa, said equipment, the basic stuff, you know, was not to be found in the hospital in Savlamar, in one of the most affected areas after the hurricane. How do you not hold that against the government? And then how can the Prime Minister say this when that was a reality? How can he say this? Listen to this.
That is without compassion. We believe that being efficient and being effective, that's the best way to show that you truly care. And how we are responding has been almost textbook, and it will be the case study for many other countries as to how to respond to managing a disaster.
For all the other countries around the world, study Jamaica. This is how you respond to a disaster. Hospital 4 days after a hurricane don't have gauges, don't have regular equipment. The staff that have lost their homes, that are working tirelessly in the hospital, does not have food and water. That is how a government should respond after a major hurricane. Are you guys hearing this? You see, when they really put the reality right beside what he said, it is the sheer audacity of this man. Only the devil could be so audacious in their line. Like, the man have the devil spirit in him, brother. The man have Lucifer spirit in him, man. Andrew always have Lucifer spirit in him. You can't make this up, bro. Remember, you know, that firefighters, nurses, police, the JDF, the soldiers, these are all part of the response team, you know. In a disaster, these are emergency personnel, you know. And emergency personnel were not equipped properly after the storm. I'll take it a step further. I remember again when Desmond McKenzie was trying to defend the fact that there was no food and water in some of the shelters. And he referenced a warehouse in Montego Bay. Not my word. I remember this vividly because I'm not going to let it leave my memory bank. According to Desmond McKenzie, there is a huge warehouse in Montego Bay that was stockpiled with food, medicine, and water and all types of things to give to the shelters. Now, their idea and their bright idea in terms of responding to Hurricane Melissa was to leave the food and all of the packages in the shelter, and then after the storm they would go and take it out and distribute it to the shelter. So persons went to the shelter with just the food that they could afford to buy, which ran out quickly because the hurricane took forever to reach Jamaica. So they were in these spaces without any food and water for more than a week. And this same government is going to tell us that they are the case study. They are the example of how a government should respond after a hurricane 5-star. That is what the man them want to try to convince us of, you know, when the evidence says the opposite. The audacity of this man. No, man, it's serious, man. It's terrible, man. Desmond McKenzie said that the food and stuff was in the warehouse, and guess what? The roads were locked up because of the flooding. Them couldn't pass. Them couldn't get to the warehouse, and it was on both sides to the warehouse that was cut off. Look at God showing them up again. Look at God showing them up again. Why would you leave the food in the warehouse and wait till after the storm? In a mass flooding, you never think, say, road could have cut off, light wire. I mean, the breeze alone, mighty God of Daniel, we were attacked by breeze and water. Sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. And Desmond McKenzie and the government of Jamaica, led by Andrew Wallace in their infinite wisdom, told us that they are ready. Let me play it again with the man say on CNN. Listen to this.
That will help us on better structure. But I think that, you know, we have mounted a very credible and strong preparation and recovery strategy, and that will help us to ensure that our citizens who may now be facing hardship, they can have confidence that the government will be able to reach them immediately after the storm is passed.
So even in the shelter, ladies and gentlemen, the people was facing hardship, and the government could not reach them immediately after the storm. Me never see a wicked set of people and them a people or some. Me say even in the shelters, 1 week or after the storm, the people were in hardship. And the food locked up in a warehouse down at St. James. Down at Montego Bay, according to Desmond McKenzie, not my word. Not my word. He went on a press conference and spoke that. I'm not telling a lie on him. I played it already. You know what I'm going to look for? I'm going to look for it. JIS for the official page. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for it. Trust me, I'm going to look for it. I'm so serious. I am so serious. I'm so sick of these people, bro. The lies, bro. The false narratives, bro. So sick of these people, bro. I'm telling you, I am up to here with it. You get me? Up to here with it, people. Right? They were coming under immense levels of scrutiny. Alright? I think I do that one now. There's my McKenzie.
Press briefing, there was a cabinet meeting, that was really about
not had any reports of any deaths so far.
Through most of what was needed, I was of disaster.
For those in the West, reach out and to sing for the best, right? Are not report, not there an official statement on deaths because that the country continue to experience the. Speak a little about the situation in St. James, which was severely impacted yesterday. The Barnett River overflowed up to 16 feet of water, covered sections of Montego Bay, Westgate, Catherine Hall, Howard Cook Boulevard, Freeport, Alice Eldemeyer Drive, Barnett Street. Public infrastructure was severely impacted yesterday in the city of Montego Bay. The infirmary was damaged. The municipal corporation, 2 floors was flooded out. Jarrett Park, where the homeless population was housed, we had to remove them to a different location. The St. James High School was being used. There are problems there. We know what is happening at Sangster International Airport, and following the tour, as Minister Dixon said, there will be a full detail on the state of the Sangster International Airport. We have now been getting some level of communication between sections of Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And most of the calls that we have gotten are distress calls. Persons trapped on roof. The JDF and the Jamaica Fire Brigade, up to last night, we were contemplating what sort of approach to take, especially to Catherine Hall. But based on the conditions that existed, the first respondents decided that they would move, and as I speak, they are presently moving, especially in the Catherine Hall area and those areas, to see what the conditions are and to take persons out who are in need of getting out. Already we know the situation with the Ministry of Health, and the number of has been devastated, for want of a better word. Falmouth, in Trelawney Hospital, Ansby Hospital, it was safely. Melissa Baby, and there were, as a matter of fact, we have information that 2 remain under observation in the occasion of the damage. But I know there are a lot of block roads. The municipal corporations, the National Works Agency, already the National Works Agency was active last night in clearing access to the road leading to the Palisades Road and other main roads. So by the public will see some general activities on our roadways, making the roads accessible so that Jamaica Fire Brigade and the municipal corporation to approach fallen trees and other areas. We are now in the process of beginning the cleanup exercise, cautious in doing so. We have flooded roads, Hampton Green in St. Catherine, being specific based on the information that is coming into us. And by now, their various municipalities will be out doing, I spoke about that. That is being undertaken in a meaningful way, and all the necessary things will be done to ensure that persons who need to get out is in a position to do so. Our shelters is seeing now more than 25,000 Jamaicans. And since last night, more persons have been going into the shelters, and especially in the parishes that have been badly affected, a lot of homes have been destroyed. So persons now are going to the shelters. We are going to be looking at a long-term basis as to how we are going to deal with the numbers. I want to say to all shelter managers, parish disaster coordinators and to the municipal corporations, no one must be turned back from the shelters. No one. And we are not contemplating in closing any shelters now. Once we have done the assessment and to see which shelters can be closed, we will do so. But for the remainder of this week, no shelters must be closed. All shelters must remain open. We are now going to be moving, working now closely and based on the direction that has been given, to start now to position ourselves to start to have relief supplies going out to the various areas once those areas can be reached. It is not going to be an easy road, Jamaica. We have seen the extent of the damage. It is going to take a lot of time. I know that person's patience is not going to last for much longer because when you are in need, persons want us to break the rules. While we are prepared to do everything to accommodate speedy response, we also have to be mindful of the protocols that exist and the fact that we have to be accountable. And we don't want to be accused of doing anything that is not within what the law requires us to do. I am quite sure that persons have waked up this morning wondering what their future will be like. As I said yesterday, the government is here. We are committed. We have already started to put the necessary things in place. And within the next couple of hours leading in tomorrow, you will see a lot more. And by late this afternoon into tomorrow, a more comprehensive report on the status of the country and where we are will be provided. But I can also assure you that during the day, if it needs be, we will provide information as best as possible. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Minister. And this is the end of our press conference. As we end, we know that there are a lot of Jamaicans who are hurting, who are displaced, who are concerned about their future. As Minister Mackenzie said, no, we're here. The government is here. The entire country is here. And we're going to rally behind all of those in Western Jamaica as we also pray for them and pray for this wonderful country that we all love. And so we will see you again very soon. We'll put out a notice on when we'll have our next briefing, which will give you more information once we've done the assessments across the country. Thank you. And as always, God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Another one there. Another one that time. I'm going to find it still. Oh, see that? At this? Let's see if I this.
Before you use any of them, if you're looking for the official Government of Jamaica site, it is supposed of culture and entertainment and gender and sports, as they support the effort to get the donations in and to support the community. Official.
Most of the updates that are probably critical to the concerns of many Jamaicans have been addressed by Minister Vaz, Minister Morgan, and Minister Senuda. And we have had another layer of concerns based on the presentation just made by Minister Weekly. I just want to quickly give an update on the state of our shelters and to advise that presently we have 521 shelters which are fully in operation. Now, the numbers in the shelters would have reduced substantially over the last day because many persons who went to the shelter out of precaution have left those facilities and have gone back home. So we are down to about 13,000 persons within shelters. I know we can't speak specifically to the 4 parishes that has been devastated. Got a call from the mayor of Black River this morning, and we spoke, and we are making arrangements to get food and water into Slipe and another community in St. Elizabeth that he spoke to me about, and those efforts are presently on the way. Just to advise the country of the 6 most severely impacted James, Over 170 communities within these parishes have been moderately or severely affected by flooding, land slippage, and other aspects of Hurricane Melissa. Just want to update that the Emergency Secure Response Team, and Minister Dixon would have spoken briefly to it earlier on, comprising 117 members of the Jamaica Defence Force Disaster Assistance Response Team, the DART, has been deployed to assist with search and rescue, and they are en route making clearance and distributing food packages along with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade in many communities that are accessible. The relief operation continue in collaboration with national and international partners, including World Food Programme, UNICEF, SIDEMA, and other such agencies, the Red Cross. I just want to close now by saying, I spoke yesterday again about the question of the operation of the shelters. And again, social media is making hell out of what the government is doing. There is no truth that as of midday today, all shelters will be closed. That is not true. That is just not true. So the shelters will remain in operation, especially in the parishes that have been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane. We are making arrangements as I speak to get igloos with ice and water and food supplies to these affected areas. Over the next 2 days, a massive relief program between ODPEM, the Ministry of Labour, and our partners will intensify to get relief supplies to the various communities. Later on, I hope we will be able to give a proper update on the number of deaths so far. Again, I've been hearing some stories that I don't want, of course, but what I will say is there has been casualties, and we do anticipate, based on our information, that there will be more. But I'm asking persons only to respond to the official statement coming out of the ODPEM or from the Minister of Information, who will receive those information and will provide them to the public. So this is just a brief update. We continue to work. We continue to do all we can to ensure that we reach those who are in need. Thank you, Minister.
Okay, thank you very much, Minister. So you see there's a lot of work happening, and as I said at the top, the Prime Minister plans to, as long as the weather holds up for him, he...
You're not gonna find him, man. Believe me. You're not gonna find him.
Around the island as it relates to the question of
Manufacturers and Exporters Association.
I'd like to start off by giving an update on the situation around the island as it relates to the question of road access, and to give an update on the status of municipalities, the structure of the municipal corporations across the country. First of all, the road access in terms of transportation, efforts have been made. I just came on the phone with Minister Morgan about allowing free access to many of the major roadways across the country. The travel from Kingston to Lucianova is accessible via the Class A road following the movements of emergency supplies and personnel. The main southern route from Santa Cruz to Black River has been cleared, and access for vehicular traffic is also available through Allen Bamboo, the main road. It has been reopened to single-lane traffic following a significant opening through Black River and provide some relief. The Noel Holmes Hospital in Hanover has been impacted, and 1,800 of those roads have been cleared, and there are free access in many communities. I must has been flooded out and is not fit for purpose as I speak at this time. In St. James, the municipal building has been damaged, the infirmary, the roof has gone, the walkway has been destroyed. In St. Elizabeth, the municipal building, the infirmary, the fire station, all the markets in St. Elizabeth has been severely damaged by the passage of the hurricane. We're going to be doing, as a part of ensuring that the municipalities and the mayors have some level of communication, is that we'll be providing Starlink to all 5 parishes. The assets of the municipalities have been compromised in many places, so it means that the revenue base of our municipalities have been severely to push us. There's a meeting that will be later on today to look at and to see how best we can respond. Shelters. We are down to 430 shelters with about 7,000 persons still in shelters. But again, as I've been saying before, there are many communities that, because of the conditions there, persons have generated shelters on their own. And we are expecting that over the next couple of days, we will see a reduction
in the shelters, and we'll be in a much better position to manage how we respond to those locations over the next couple of days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important that the country understands that while I know that there are many persons who are anxious, who can't wait much longer, and we know that a lot of people want to get things done, but we have to ensure that our efforts are well coordinated. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security with Minister Charles, the Ministry of Local Government, the ADPEM, Minister Vaz, and the team, that subcommittee that has been established by the Prime Minister, has been working overnight since the committee was established. There have been several meetings, and we are well advanced. This morning, I am pleased to advise the country that one of...
I believe at this one, after PNP they do their meeting, then they keep on, then they keep something. Let me see if I hit this.
Couple just
on our recovery and relief efforts. Minister Mackenzie.
Thank you, Minister. Let me just make way for the grand lady. That's what you call her. All right, I just have a couple updates I want to give this afternoon, which is important as we continue the recovery efforts. As of today, only a total of 186 shelters remain open across 12 parishes, and there are approximately 2,500 persons within our shelters as I speak. I just want to spend 5 minutes on the issue surrounding the municipal corporations across the country. As you all know that 7 of the municipalities have been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane, and none of these municipalities have anywhere to conduct administrative activities. We are now making arrangements. We have found a location in St. Elizabeth, and I will be engaging the mayors and other stakeholders to discuss relocation for the remaining municipal corporations. One of the challenges we face also is that a number of staff in these municipalities have their own personal issues, so they can't participate in the recovery exercise. So I'm pleased to announce that the municipalities that has not been affected have now moved into those parishes. A team from KSA has gone into St. Elizabeth, and we are moving teams from Portmore, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, and other communities to cover areas in Western Jamaica that has been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane. I must also make the point that the revenues of the municipal corporation has been severely affected by the passage of the hurricane. And as I speak, at least 30% of our markets have been damaged, destruction to extensive repair, clearing of roads and the necessary things. And what I saw was devastating. But this is the time with all of Jamaica, and I'm going to be reaching out today, my opposition counter spokesperson, to invite her to the meeting to discuss the cleanup exercise, because we are taking a national approach to the cleanup exercise. Those are my brief comments this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. You
said, I need to find that clip there, man. Yeah, I need to find that clip. Huh? Need to find that clip. Well, it's October 30th. We need to look up on that one there already. Or did I? Hold on there. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I went down this one already. But I did skip some of them. I got earlier one of them, man. This one, November 13. Can't be so late. Can't be November 13. Can't be November 13. Could it be? Alright, let me try that one. November 11th.
And counting, and also is there a potential timeline that is being discussed as to when we start this?
We are going to now hear from Minister Mackenzie, the co-chair of the committee that has been established by the Prime Minister. And he looks so handsome today. Good morning, Minister.
Morning, Minister. Morning, Minister Vaz. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to start off commenting on the aspect of the shelters, and
Nacho, what's up, bro?
Just also speak quickly to the fact that in the daily newspapers and in the media, specific reference has been made to a number of shelters, especially in Westmoreland, about the lack of basic needs
supplies and lack of security.
Here we go. This is the one. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
I just want to give the country the assurance that all the shelters that was outlined by the new Director General about them is fully equipped, not just with food supplies, but with adequate security, water. I must point out that one of the problems you're experiencing at the shelters is that during the days, a lot of people go to the shelters. They don't actually stay at the shelters, but they go to the shelters during the day. So when one goes there, they find this huge crowd. It is not because the shelters is overcrowded. We have been working closely with the RPM and the municipal corporations to ensure that all the shelters have the requisite needs as we get down into the thing. The numbers have reduced. Next week, we'll be putting some 300 workers of the Youth Summer Employment Program to go into the affected areas to do an actual count of the numbers of persons in the shelters. And once that is done, we will take a determination how many shelters will be closing down or how many shelters must remain in operation. So I want again to dismiss the mischief that is being made, that the government is not doing anything about the shelters. It is not true. There was a big story about a rape case in Montego Bay following detailed investigation. In this room last week, the question was asked of the Prime Minister. There is no truth to any such story, and I want to put that to rest. The other area that I want to touch on is the backlog of garbage collections and the debris as an effect being back in country to be a little bit more considerate. You know, we are disposing of the waste. A lot of people is away to the country, and Mr. Gordon has also want to make the point that based on the number of trucks going to our landfills, it is difficult for a truck to make 2 trips a day. The lines are extremely long. So we are urging patience as we continue to improve on that area. On the weekend, I was in Falmouth, and I must tell you that the issues in Falmouth are real. The municipal corporation have commenced work yesterday to clean up the market so that the vendors, and I notice a lot of commercial activities in Falmouth, which is very good, despite the fact that they have no electricity there, but a lot of Jamaicans have risen to the occasion and has found means and ways of having commercial activities taking place in Falmouth. And so the instructions have been given to the municipal corporation to commence a comprehensive cleanup of the town of Falmouth. They have started, and since yesterday they have started to clean out the Falmouth market. And once that is done, the vendors who are on the streets will be allowed to go in using the car park of the market to ply their trade. And I want to make this point. There has been no increase in fees for any services offered by the municipal corporation by me as minister. No such authorization has been given. So there is no increase in market fees. None of the services that is offered by the municipal corporation have seen any increase in fees. As a matter of fact, the vendors in Falmouth will be allowed to occupy the market without paying any market fees at this time. So I want to make it clear that we are not in the mood of increasing fees. So anybody who goes to the market and is asked to pay a market fee is an AI, not me. It's not real. And I want to make that point because it is very, very important, and I don't want people to exploit the situation. The government has not authorized any increase in any of the services for fees charged by the municipal corporation. The purpose of the exercise of the YSEP workers, as I said before, is to collect the data on social security providing for. We'll be moving to another stage to homes and properties across the country. Some of that have already started by the Ministry of Labour, working with RPM and the municipal corporations, but in the parishes that have been affected mostly, those assessments has not commenced as yet because of the real concerns in those areas. Final point I want to touch is St. James, Montego Bay. I will be meeting shortly with all the mayors from across the country to look at the state of local government and its resources. I want to say to the country that the local authorities have been severely hampered by Melissa's passage through Jamaica. When I saw the infirmary in Falmouth, tears came to my eyes. There's no way that that infirmary can go back to that location. And I'm going to be engaging Minister Grange because Falmouth is protected under the National Heritage Trust and a lot of the buildings in Falmouth. But we have to come to the realization that Melissa has given us a different light on how we operate. The fire station was devastated by Melissa. And so in terms of going forward, those discussions have to commence because we cannot. I spoke with Minister Tufton yesterday adjacent to the shelter is a facility that houses social cases in the hospitals. Over 50 of those patients have to be removed. They cannot go back to that location. So I am urging persons, those who have relatives who you can afford to take, please to take them, because it is just not possible to house people in those facilities. One of the infirmaries operating from a school. We are now looking to use the same approach to the field hospital as a means of relocating that infirmary when the time comes. I want to echo Minister Vaz's sentiments by saying that the government is working. There's no denying that we are doing the right things. We are listening. There are a lot of Jamaicans out there who are joining, but the country must understand that this is going to take time, going to take effort. It is going to take cooperation. The last thing I want to say, I have to be controversial. We don't need the politics into the relief supply program.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, man. It's harder than I thought, y'all. But y'all know I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. And I'm going to find it. I'm going to clip it up. I just can't remember which date he said it. You know what I mean? That's my issue. Can't remember the date he said it. I know it was after the storm because the road got cut off. You understand? The road got cut off. So it was after the storm. The roads were damaged.
In terms of
parishes have been moderately or severely affected by flooding, land slippage, and other aspects of to get food and water into Slipe and another community in St. Elizabeth that he spoke to me about, and those efforts is that presently we have 500 and it is that communities within these operation continue in collaboration with national and international partners.
I wonder if it was in Parliament. Maybe that's why I'm now find it, you know. I'm trying to remember if it's in Parliament he responded in that manner. The man said there is a big warehouse in Montego Bay, right? And the warehouse got cut off. So the shelter never have no food and water, and there was question about it. And the man said, boy, the plan was that after the storm, they would, you know. But yo, I can't find it, man.
Including World Food Program. So far, again, I've been hearing some stories that I don't want to repeat, and I'm not going to repeat those stories because the police have not confirmed those reports. But what I will say is there has been casualties, and we do anticipate, based on our information, that there'll be more. But I'm asking persons only to respond to the official state.
Just have to look at all of them. That's all. You know, so I have to move though. I have to move in, ladies and gentlemen. When I try to find this thing with Desmond Mackenzie, but I'm going to find it still. And I'm going to clip it up. But I have to make a run. I have to go down the road. I need to get a piece of equipment or a wire. Just one little wire. Probably I get two of them. One little wire to put in the microphone and put in the box. So when I'm using it, all I have to do is turn these two knobs, adjust them to turn on my microphone and turn down the volume of the box. Daniel, how you doing? Grace and peace be multiplied to you also, Daniel. Greetings and salutations to you as well. Hey, I want to say big up to Nacho. I don't know if Nacho is still here, man. Thank you for coming through. Shout out to Selena. Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year to everybody. Blessed New Year. Keep praying. Stay connected to the Most High. And look out for those disasters and stay covered under his coverage. You understand? God is the greatest. Blessings. Thank you again to all the donators. I only have 2 more days left before we stop celebrating my birthday. And I want to thank everybody that has blessed me. It's a rough time for everyone, so you know, I really appreciate it even more, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue, guys. I wanna encourage you all to go to my video uploads. Check out the video uploads. All right, guys. We have the SSL victim. Very important piece of video. That's the last upload I put up. Don't mind the animation, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do is I want to move away from putting up the faces of the politicians. You understand? The imagery, as you can see, if you look at it, or you're looking at it right now, that is a man in a suit and tie running away with the money. And this is the SSL, the victims cry out. All right, I had to repost this as an article, and I think it's important that we remember, especially with the SSL topic coming up, we have to realize how incredibly evil these people are, and what an evil action they did to a lot of people, not just Usain Bolt, regular Jamaicans, ladies and gentlemen, regular Jamaicans. All right, God bless you guys. And you can check out the rest of them as well. I have a new playlist. I want to encourage you guys to go and check out the new playlist. It's a 2025 playlist of videos that you probably missed. There's 116 videos in there. All right, 116 videos, ladies and gentlemen. It is no joke. All right. Oh my God! I didn't even finish playing this video with the doctor.
Preparation, pack sterile, surgical equipment, blood, and so on. And it is, I don't think we've seen the representations from our administration and our administrative staff, or even the National Disaster Preparedness Group. And this is day 4 after the storm that we have this issue down here in Sal. Still doing emergency surgeries. Hospital theaters are down. No, the lights, we just on minimal light. There's certainly no AC in the operating theaters, but for emergencies, we still have to do them in the heat. We did an amputation last night, and I think we have a couple of emergency C-sections. The morning of the hurricane, we had done a ruptured appendix, but the emergencies are still coming in, and we expect them to increase once the road has been cleared. Right now, nothing can access the hospital effectively because most of the surrounding communities are blocked off from hospital. I mean, just listening to the police here, the police just told me that there are 6 bodies in one community that cannot be moved because there's still no access to those communities. But we expect that as time goes on and the roads are clear, we're going to get an influx of patients with emergencies, and we think mostly they're going to be more of the non-surgical type. But yes, we're going to get surgical cases, especially patients who haven't had their diabetic foot or feet dressed over long periods of time. That's going to turn into a gangrenous foot. Those who have surgical indications right now, who is going to be backed up for the next 2, 3, 4 days, and who knows, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, we're probably going to have a high morbidity or mortality of those cases within the community, but we expect a high influx of them as soon as the roads are cleared. We expect the situation to get more desperate as the days go on, because we have a problem on the road already with fuel, and I would ask anybody if we could get some communication to the hospital, whether it just be internet, Starlink, whatever. If somebody could get us some Starlink, then we'd be in a better place in order to report what's happening here.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that it's worse than I thought, this is what I mean. This video is what sparked me to do this live stream. And I thank God that the video came back to me. Because I was searching my history. I was searching my TikTok history and couldn't find the video, and I watched it on TikTok. I thought I watched it on Facebook because I was searching and I couldn't find it, but to God be the glory, here we are. So you're telling me, look at the comparison that the good doctor made, and rightfully so, yes? When Haiti had a disaster, and God bless Haiti, you understand, I'm not against Haiti personally, me personally, I'm not against Haiti, right? I just not practice what them I practice because I don't want God have nothing against me. You understand? So God bless Haiti. Hope they repent. Good. I'm saying the Jamaican government responded to Haiti in a timely manner and right here in our own, medically, you know, and right here in our own country. 4 days. 4 freaking days. Sablamar Hospital. Dr. Lincoln Scott, General Surgeon. Andrew Hollis is on there talking about he gives himself an A-. Just leave the A and put minus. Because right now they're negative in a grading in the response to this disaster. You're in the negative. These things, it means a timely response. If you take too long, it means more people will die.
God, and another increased mass shootings.
It's unbelievable. And it's unacceptable. Facts. I haven't listened to this. This is a What's Up Ahead 2026 prophecy.
Holy Spirit began to speak to me about increased mass shootings.
Listen to my American friends.
I want you to listen this now. Increase mass shooting.
My American friends, please listen.
Random and coordinated across the United States of America. Increase mass shootings. So you will have instances of what the authorities like to describe as lone wolf strikes. Yes? So those are isolated cases, but you will also have random mass shootings and also coordinated mass shootings. And what the enemy is seeking to do is to destabilize and to drive fear, and again to advance the narrative that the United States of America is not safer or safe since the Trump administration. So they will be trying to do that. We see that in the realm of the spirit. We also see increased terror attacks. So not just the mass shootings, but terror attacks, because there are a number of sleeper cells that are in the United States of America. So we need to bear that in mind. So as the woman of God was speaking, I started to see and to hear that being released. But another interesting download that came in terms of the attack on the grid, cyber attacks, one of the areas, and this is something that we need to pray seriously about, Lady Diana can comment on same, and again I'm speaking prophetically, and we have to pray against these things. I see where they are not just targeting not just the electrical grid with the express intention of shutting down communication, travel in certain areas, and crippling the ability of the United States of America to have the country or the nation under surveillance. In other words, to blind the authorities so they are not able to see what is happening. They are not able to see what is happening in the air in terms of incoming flight, outgoing flight, incoming maritime activity, and even terrestrial activity. So they are seeking to blind the United States in that regard. And another area that they're thinking of doing, and they have been plotting and planning, saith the Lord, for years now, is to attack the sewage system. Holy Spirit began to speak to me about increased mass shootings, and I want you to listen this now. Increased mass shootings, random and coordinated across the United States of America. Increase mass shootings. So you will have instances of what the authorities like to describe as lone wolf strikes. Yes? So those are isolated cases, but you will also have random mass shootings and also coordinated mass shootings. And what the enemy is seeking to do is to destabilize and to drive fear, and again to advance the narrative that the United States of America is not safer or safe since the Trump administration. So they will be trying to do that. We see that in the realm of the spirit. We also see increased terror attacks. So not just the mass shootings, but terror attacks, because there are a number of sleeper cells that are in the United States of America. So we need to bear that in mind. So as the woman of God was speaking, I started to see and to hear that being released. But another interesting download that came in terms of the attack on the grid, cyber attacks, one of the areas, and this is something that we need to pray seriously about, Lady Diana can comment on same, and again, I'm speaking prophetically, and we have to pray against these things. I see where they are not just targeting, not just the electrical grid with the express intention of shutting down communication, travel in certain areas, and crippling the ability of the United States of America to have the country or the nation under surveillance. In other words, to blind the authorities so they are not able to see what is happening. They are not able to see what is happening in the air in terms of incoming flight, outgoing flight, incoming maritime activity, and even terrestrial activity. So they are seeking to blind the United States in that regard. And another area that they're thinking of doing, and they have been plotting and planning, saith the Lord, for years now, is to attack the sewage system. Holy Spirit began to speak to me about.
So my American brothers and sisters, that is a prophetic word for your country. I'm great. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Pray, ladies and gentlemen. Pray. Pray against these things, all right? Pray against these things. Don't take what the apostle says lightly. Don't do that. Megan, how you doing? Go to A Word and a Verse on TikTok. That is the name of the channel. A Word and a Verse. One word, no space in between. A Word and a Verse on TikTok, and you will see Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth's clippings from his live streams. Apparently, this live stream was done this morning or yesterday. Where's the mommy? Huh? Yeah, it is increased attacks on the United States. Shootings. Yeah, it's gonna get very in 2026 himself. They might try fit. There's entities out there trying to to make America feel unsafe, and it's blaming Trump for it. Yeah. Guys, I'm off. I should have gone already, but I'm off. I have to go now. See you guys later. All right. Peace and blessings.